All right, so question 5. My recommendation for question 5 would be to actually create your own Venn diagram. It actually will help a lot because you got these two Venn diagrams and it might be a little tricky, but again, if you just think of it in this way, it might actually help, and you'll see why in a second. So what they've told you is a bunch of things, and they've given you the tree diagram already, and then they say that there's a 26% chance that Luis invest in technology stocks. Well, think of it this way. Again, we don't know what percentage, what's the probability of him going international, what his probability is going domestic. We don't know that. And that's the part we are stuck on because we know that there's a 26% chance that Luis invests in technology stocks. Well, there's only one technology, and that's right here. So we know what the probability of domestic and technology is because technology is only domestic. Okay? So knowing that, we know what that probability is. So now let's take a look at it. Remember, to get to the 26%, we would take the probability of the domestic, multiply by the probability here that you find, which is 65%, because it did say he would invest 65% in technology stocks. So knowing that, try and work backwards because we don't know what this is, right? We don't know what that probability is. We do know what the probability of tech is given domestic. That's 65%. And then we do know that this is 26%. So all I have to do is solve by dividing this 26% by 65%, which if you do, that gives me 40%. You might be wondering, well, okay, great. Why do we need that? Because what are they asking? They're asking here, let's see if I can change my color to blue or purple. What is the overall likelihood he will invest in petroleum stocks? Remember, there's only one petroleum right there, right? Actually, I need a different color. Let's go bright green. So I need to figure out what that probability is. To do that, I need the probability of international and multiply that by 70%, and boom, I'm done. So why did we find out the domestic? Well, we know what the probability is of domestic, that's 40%. Then this international is actually 60%. So we have a 60% chance of him investing there. Well, now I have everything that I need. So I can do 60% times the 70%, which would give me I believe that's 42%. And the reason why we're multiplying is because if there's a 60% chance of going international, then of that 60%, 70% of it is going to petroleum, which is why we're multiplying there. And so our final answer will be 42%. So again, the tree diagram helps clarify a lot of that. So let's move on to question 6. So this one's a little tricky. So I just quickly wrote down what was known. So the probability of having a tablet for these kids is 35%. Probability of smartphone is 24%. Then what does the 42% mean? Well, they say given that 42% of those that have a smartphone, there's our condition right there, have a tablet. So the probability of getting a tablet given a smartphone is 42%. They want to know what percent of those that had a tablet, new condition, there it is, also have a smartphone. So we're trying to find that probability. What's the probability of kids having a smartphone given a tablet? Well, if you look at that formula one more time, the conditional probability is quite simple. You look for the intersection between A and B divided by the probability of B, right? That would give you the probability of A happening given B. Well, think of it this way. The tablet is A, the smartphone is B. Okay? What if we flip it? Well, now it's B given A. So if we look at that formula, I need the intersection, which, by the way, is the same, right? But I'm going to divide it by probability of A, because by doing that, now it's out of A, because that's your condition. So let's take a look. Well, if I were to rewrite this, let's see if I can clean this up a little bit. Come on, there we go. Perfect. The intersection, do I know the intersection between them? That's something I don't know. So I just want to put that up here. I don't know the smartphone intersecting with tablet. If I did, I could just plug it in and be done. I do know the probability of the tablet, which is 35%. So I can put that right here. So I got to find out what is the probability of a smartphone and a tablet. Well, lucky for us, we already have something that we have all the information we need to solve for it. Because if you look right here, That's 42%. So right here, this is 42%. The intersection, I don't know that, all right? I don't know what that intersection is between them, but I can solve for it because I do know what the probability is of B, or in this case, the smartphone, right here. So now what I can do is multiply 24% over, let's get my calculator out here, 42% times 20, let's get some decimals here, times 0.24, gives me that value right there. So that percentage, which is 10.08, is the probability of a smartphone and a tablet. So now I can use that value, 10.08, that percentage, because that's what this is right here. I can now substitute it in here, because that'd be 10.08, the percentage, divided by the percentage, which in this case is tablet, so that's 35%. Again, these are both percentages. So let's go over here, type that in. 0.1008 divided by 0.35 gives you your probability of 28.8%. There you have it. Okay. Question 7. I'll finish on this one, and that will be it for this video. Again, it's easy if you can build the tree diagram. So again, machine X, you can see that right here. You get blue, no, let's go yellow. So probability of machine X producing the daily output is 60%, Y is 40%. And then from there, they tell me that 2% of the machine X's output is defective. So that's 2%, that's defective. 98% is not. For machine Y, it's 1.5, and then 9.85 there. So I have my tree diagram. I can calculate the percentages in a little bit, but I don't want to do too much too quickly. So let's look and figure out what they actually want. They want to know, one day item was inspected at random and found to be defective. What is the probability that it was produced by machine X? So they know it's defective. That's our condition. So if you want to think of it this way, I'm trying to find what's the probability of it being a machine given it's defective. Or in other words, let's find out what the probability is of being defective. That's the denominator. And then the numerator is going to be the intersection between machine and defective. Or machine X, excuse me. So I'm just following my tree diagram here. So 60% times the 2%. Let's do that right now. 60% times the 2% gives me that value right there. I'll write it as a decimal. There we go. That's it, defective. I also need to know the other defective because, you know, there's another spot right here. So I'm going to calculate that by following the tree diagram. 40% times 1.5. times the 0.015. That comes out to be 0.006. So now let's set up our probability. So again, I only wanted the intersection, so this goes on the top, 0.012, because that's where machine X and defective intersect. And finally, the probability of defective. Well, these are my only two defectives. The total probability, if I add them together, would be the total probability of being defective, right? So I'll slide that over here, type that in, divided by, and I'll just type that value in one more time, make sure I do it correctly. And that right there gives me the probability of it coming from machine X, looking like it's a 66.6 or 2/3, if you want to think of it as a fraction, 2/3 probability. So it's quite likely that if it was defective, it's going to come from machine X, which logically, if you think about it, more is produced from machine X, right? And there's slightly more defective coming from there. So there's a slight, that makes sense why that would have a larger probability for machine X. There you go.